Friend, I'm so glad you made it over here because I got a few stories for you today. I hope you're ready. What's up, friend? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Curse. If you are returning, I appreciate you. If you're new here, I'm just a person who loves to go over conspiracy theories and talk about paranormal ghost stories from everyday people just like me and you. I also add in my own stories because Lord knows I have a lot of experiences. I am on TikTok. I do share a lot of my experiences on TikTok, but I decided to bring it to the YouTube family. So you can also follow me there at Curse the Worst. I'm also have it down in the description. I have a few videos for us today to go over. When I do put my videos up here, I do like to try to talk in between just to get my POV, but enough with all that. We're going to get straight to the meat and potatoes.
So I never believed in ghosts and spirits until living in my grandparents' house, and we finna get into it. So recently I moved from my sister's house on Memorial Day, and I moved into this house that I'm in. It's my grandparents' house. This is the house that they passed away in. So my grandma passed away in her room in 2024, and then my grandpa, he passed away in his room in 2009. So mind y'all, I've always been a scaredy cat, ghost spirit. Like I'm not a big fan of it. But once I moved here, that is when I started experiencing certain things. So about a week and a half ago, I'm going to go in the room and show y'all in a minute, but I was in my grandma's room. That is the room that I turned into, my little office where I like to paint. That is where I do my work from home job. Now, me working from home, I have to be on Zoom camera when my supervisor has to come in and talk to us. So it was like a Wednesday. I can remember her coming in my room and she was asking me some questions, and then she stopped. She was like, "There's a lady standing behind you with glasses and a gown on." And I'm like, I froze for a minute because I immediately knew it was my grandma, but I didn't want to get to tell her right away, "Oh, that's my grandma, that's my grandma." I was asking her to describe her to me, like, what is it that you see? What does she look like for real? And she was describing my grandma. So the more and more she was describing her, I reached above my computer and grabbed a picture of my grandma that I hung above my computer, and I showed it to her on Zoom camera. And she's like, "That's the lady who's in the room with you." And I'm just sitting there shocked because I'm like, what the fuck? Now, before I had even moved in, I was already having dreams about being in my grandparents' house by myself. I was already having dreams about being here and, seeing them around the house while being here in the dream. But ever since I moved in here, I'm not able to see them, and personally I don't want to see them. I've already made it known, like, please don't scare me. I don't want to see y'all. If you're gonna watch over me, just watch over me, but do not make yourself known. Fast forward to me sitting on the porch blowing down one day. I'm sitting on the porch blowing down, and my grandpa's shed, which is through this window here, is right there. I swear to on everything that I love, I was sitting on the porch blowing down, and I could hear somebody coming from the shed to the porch to where I was. Mind y'all, nobody was out there. It wasn't a cat, it wasn't no animal or nothing, but the grass was crunching as if somebody was walking through the grass to come to the porch to where I was. And this is my grandpa's shed. This is where he would be at almost every day, back there doing something. It was actually two sheds out there, but they tore the other one down a few years ago. But I knew it was him because he would come from the shed, come to the porch almost every day. I knew it was him coming from the shed to come to where I was, but I could not see anything, which is the crazy part about it. Fast forward to after my grandma passed away. My mom was the only one really taking care of her, along with my uncle, out of several other children, but we're not even going to get into that. When my grandma passed away, my mom was sleeping in the room that I'm sleeping in now, which is what I made my room. And she told me that she could hear my grandma in the hallway with her walking stick walking down the hallway to her room. After we had that bad hurricane in 2024, I was sleeping in my grandpa's room with my niece. This was like 2 weeks after my grandma had passed away. And it was really hard for me to fall asleep because, we had just had a storm. We had just buried my grandma less than 2 weeks ago. And as I'm trying to fall asleep, I hear, like, my grandma used to do it all the time because she had a stroke before she had passed away, and she was off balance, but she could still walk. But she walked with the walking cane. I could hear somebody coming down the hallway, dragging their fingers on the wall. And that would be something my grandma would do before she passed. Like, to get her balance, she would hold on to the wall, and you could hear her coming down the hallway holding on to the wall with her nails scraping up against the wall. I heard my grandma coming down the hallway, but nobody was in the hallway. Crazy, right? Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my grandparents. I love my grandma. I do. I'm the youngest grandchild on both sides. The last cousin, the last grandbaby. So they had me majority of the time when my mom would be at work. Like, I grew up in this house. This house has been here since 50s, maybe the 60s. This house has been here for a long time. And after I was born in 2001, my grandparents stayed having me. My grandma, my granddaddy, they stayed spoiling me, giving me whatever I wanted. So it's like, now that I'm here, I was scared at first, but with me like being here almost every day, I'm getting used to it. I'm really getting used to it. Like, I'm not scared. I don't get like a heavy feeling, like pictures and stuff flying off the wall. No, none of that is going on. If anything, I just really feel like they're just trying to make me aware that they're here and watching over me. I don't know. But when my supervisor had told me that, I was telling her, I'm like, I'm a little scared that you told me that. And she was like, don't be scared. It's just your grandma. She's there to watch over you. And I'm asking her, like, how many times have you seen this lady on camera while I've been here? She's like, oh, at least, like 4 times. I'm like, why haven't you told me that you've seen her on camera? And she was like, oh, well, I thought maybe you were having company. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, maybe she really did think that I'm having company. But that last time when she asked me, she was like so serious, because when we're on Zoom calls, or not even on Zoom calls, if we're just on calls, period, if we're working from home, we're not supposed to have nobody in the room with us because we're working with sensitive information. So when she told me that, and I'm looking around the room trying to see who's really standing behind me, I kind of got chills for a moment, because I'm like, this lady don't know nothing about my grandma. This lady don't know that my grandma passed away or nothing. She don't know nothing about my grandma. And that's how it made me like realize, like, oh shit, what she's saying is actually real. My supervisor is stationed all the way in Texas. I've never seen my supervisor before in person, but we talk here and there, but she's never seen my grandma. So for her to like actually know what my grandma looked like, describe her from the T, and my grandma passed away in 2024, that's how I know that spirits are real. I'm not even joking. So y'all, this is my grandma's room that I turned into my little office. Before she passed away, her hospital bed sat in that corner where that dresser is, and it ran all the way down where the dresser was. And the dresser sat right here, and then her chair sat right there, and then her TV was right there. But this is my work computer. This is where I sit at every morning to go to work, and that is my Zoom camera. And when I was sitting down, my supervisor said that she seen my grandma standing back there with her glasses on, or sometimes she'll say she'll see her in the chair. Now, this is my grandma. This is my grandma. And this is my grandpa that died in 2009. But when she was describing my grandma, she was describing her looking like that, with her glasses, the gray hair, the gown, and that's exactly my grandma. Like, my grandma wore a lot of nightgowns and glasses, and she just always gave old lady when she got older. But I decorated her room. This is how her room looks. This is where I paint. This is where I do all my crafts. Those are my paintings up there. I made that. I did that when I was in high school, and they put it in the fair, and I got second place. But I just been really, trying to make the space look like mine a little bit. Now, when I open the door, my grandpa's room is across the hall. That's his door, or his room, but his door is closed. But yeah, y'all, this is my grandparents' house. This is where I grew up. I grew up here majority of my life. They've always had me. When my mama would go to work, she would drop me off over here. So, like, this isn't like a foreign home to me. Like, I'm used to it. But it's just a simple fact, like, trying to get used to being here without them being here. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I think Wednesday, I had a whole breakdown. I was crying in my grandma's room, like, just crying, like, looking at the pictures, thinking about the memories, until I just felt like a sense of warmth and comfort come over me. I don't know if it was my grandma or what, but I just felt like, you ain't got no need to cry. Like, everybody all right. Everything good. So, I don't know. Like, what do y'all think about it? Give me y'all input. Like, literally, nothing has changed with me being here. This is a 4-bedroom house. Their furniture is still here. Their chairs, their couches, like all the pictures and stuff still on the wall of my grandma, my grandparents. Like everything still looks the same. Nothing has literally changed. I made those flowers though, but literally nothing has changed. Like when they passed away, my mom was the one who upkept the property. So she would come over here. She continued to pay the light bill, kept the yard mowed. Like she was the one who kept everything going. If something broke, like she would literally come over here every week and just stop by. If something broke, she's gonna fix it. She put up new shades. Like my mama has always, before they died, was always doing for the property and all of that. So y'all, I don't really know how to feel about it. I might come out with the part 2 and let y'all know of some other stuff that's been going on since I've been here. But what do y'all really feel about it? Do y'all really feel like they here with me, or do y'all think like it's just all a hoax? I don't know.
I must say, it's so bittersweet because you know it's your relatives. But yeah, the fact that her manager knew that that person was in there, but the manager didn't know that the lady was gone, that's creepy within itself. But shout out to her. I did give her permission to use that video. That was a great story that she told. We're gonna go to the next video. Do I want to give an introduction? Y'all just watch it.
Tell me, what's the creepiest experience you ever had in your life, and why you still think about that moment?
I think I had to be about 21. This is when I used to stay in Atlanta. And man, it was one rainy night. It had to be about 38 degrees and it was real rainy. It was real wet. And earlier that day, I had sold a car, one of my personal cars. I think I sold it for like maybe $2,500, $3,000. And I had that money in my pocket the whole day. I was supposed to take it to the bank, but I just didn't get around to it. So remind you, this gas station, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was on the West End in Atlanta, on that end. And this gas station is set off the road. Like, but keep that in mind, it's set back off the road, like a good distance. So, it's raining 1 o'clock in the morning. It's rainy. It's wet. It's cold. So I need to get some gas. So I got some gas, man, and out of nowhere, this guy rolled up on me. Like, it's a homeless guy. And it threw me off, all the way off, because number one, I didn't hear him. I didn't see him come up. Like, it was no way. It's like it was a Grand Theft Auto cheat code. He just kind of dropped right there out of nowhere. So that kind of threw me off. So he come up to me. He said, man, it's cold, man. It's cold. And I'm like, you got to be mindful of people that just kind of walk up to you and claim they're homeless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here kind of like, okay, and I feel bad for him. I don't too often feel bad about a lot of homeless people. I don't, I sympathize, but you don't help everybody, all of them out. So the guy was like, it's cold, man. It's cold. When I looked down at his pants, he didn't have any drawers on because his pants was held up by a shoestring, so it was still hanging down. And his shoelaces, he didn't have any shoelaces, of course, because they was in his pants. So he took his feet out. He took his feet out of his shoes and he stepped on the ground and it was wet. So I'm like, damn, he got to be cold. You know what I'm saying? So he got to be cold. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, he don't have a T-shirt on. He got a bubble coat with no shirt underneath. So he was like, man, I just really want something warm to drink. I need something warm to drink. And in my mind, I'm kind of like, nah, bro, you're going to need more than something warm to drink. Like, you freezing out here. So after I pumped my gas, I said, man, walk me into the inside of this gas station. Luckily, it was open. Most gas stations not even open at this time. So I told the guy, I said, man, you got change for 100? Because remember, I sold a car, so I got nothing but $100 bills in my pocket. So he was like, oh, you got to buy something. So I'm like, damn. Okay, well, so in the gas station, you know how they have socks, T-shirts, and all the stuff like that. So I said, I can get him this, so he can have some stuff, for the days moving forward. So I got him some hot chocolate, and we walked back to my car. He said, man, I really appreciate it, man. You're going to get blessed for this. And, I wasn't worried about the blessing, man. Some people generally just need some help. So I just thought about in my trunk. Okay, there we go. I'm back. So yeah, we walked to my car. We walked back to my car. He's like, man, God gonna bless you, man. God gonna bless you. So I'm like, Yeah, I wasn't doing it because of that. Some people, like I said, just genuinely needed some help. So I get in the car and I realized I got a lot of shoes, jackets, hats, and a bag because I was going to go to Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet, they give you money because I was going to go to Lennox the next day with that money and just ball out. Like I was going to really just go shopping with that money that I had. So I had those clothes sitting. So I asked him what size did he wear. He happened to wear a 10, and he was about my size. So I gave him the whole bag, all the stuff in it, you know. So I gave it to him. He just like, oh man, he putting on his socks, this things of that sort. So I looked. So I said, you know what? I got some else. But I think I had some more money sitting in the armrest. So I dig in the armrest, and I turn around. He was gone. Threw me off. Like, remember, I'm not high. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. I'm not drunk. I'm really just sitting here looking like, what is really going on? Like, and I looked down and I looked at his footprint. It was still on the ground. Now, remind you, this gas station set back off the road, so I don't give a damn how fast you are. You could not have got to any street or around that gas station without me seeing that. And it threw me off because my money was gone. Well, because I did give him 100. Before I gave him 100. My money was gone, my clothes was gone, and the footstep was on the floor. So that probably had to be the creepiest thing that I probably ever experienced. Yeah.
Shout out to my family from Atlanta. Because Lord knows Atlanta is haunted. Okay. Atlanta is very haunted. And I can understand where he's coming from, like being generous, because I'm a generous person, especially to like people you just don't know. You just want to help out, but for you to disappear. And then how do you explain that to people without people just thinking like you crazy? Like it is hard to do, but it's like I'm trying to tell y'all what I experienced. That is the story of my life. It's like, oh my God, like I can't believe I just saw what I saw. Like it's crazy. But what we're gonna do is get into this next video. Now I didn't describe his video, but I'm gonna go ahead and describe this next video. It is one from yours truly. This story came from when I was a child. And whatever it was pretending to be my sister. I'll be right back. Try to do this really quickly while I'm on break, but my story was I was real young around this time, and we lived in Atlanta, the city of Atlanta. We was in an old house, and I forgot what happened the night before, and me and my sister shared a room, and we was laying in the same bed. Mind you, the bed is against the wall, so she's sleeping behind me. I'm on the outside of the bed. Now, we had fell asleep, but I woke up one morning. I think this was around between 12 and 3 a.m. And I opened my eyes, and in front of us, the TV was, against the wall, and in front of me was like a laundry basket, a laundry bag actually. So I opened my eyes and I saw my sister sitting on the laundry bag. So it had me confused because I'm like, I felt my sister behind me. So I turned around and looked, my sister was actually asleep behind me, sound asleep. So I turned back over and I looked, and whoever it was, pretended to be my sister, still sitting on the laundry bag, facing the TV. I didn't say nothing because I was kind of scared. So I just kept looking, and she was just sitting there like this, looking at the TV. So somehow I just kept blinking, and she slowly started to fade away. I tried to tell my mom, my grandma. I don't know if anybody believed me, but that definitely happened. Scared the shit out of me. I just genuinely want to know, what would y'all do in that situation? I ain't gonna lie, knowing me, and that was my dad, I'd probably walk up on the truck, like, trying to talk to him. Can you do this? Can you flicker this on if this is you? Like, I know I can't be the only one, y'all. Like, come on. That'd have been me. But I would say, like, that'll definitely twist my brain. And it's a good thing she did catch it on camera, because you try to tell somebody that, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? But the fact that she caught it and you can clearly see there wasn't nobody in there, that's creepy within itself. That's some creepy stuff. This last video, y'all, this video went viral on TikTok. And I remember the first time that I saw it, I was looking like, now wait a minute. Like, I'm trying to debunk it and everything, but watching it, it kind of didn't make sense. It still twists your brain. Let's go watch that.
This shit, bro. These niggas is closed. It's a little kid in the fucking Mexican store, dude, next to Just Pizza on Shaylin. It's legit a little boy in this motherfucker, bro, and it makes no sense. And he keep peeking, disappearing and shit.
I just don't know how to feel about that. Like, because it's like, where are your parents if you are real? But then again, where did you disappear to? Because we so used to ghosts like being so clear looking and, you know what I'm saying? And not really all the way solid. That was a solid child. You couldn't see through that child, but where you go off to? Like, that's the one that really twists your brain. Were you real or were you not? And you know, AI, let's just talk about it, y'all. AI don't make it no better nowadays. And the fact that we are on TikTok and we're kind of like perfecting it, like putting in the comments, oh, it's not real, oh, it's not real. Let me just throw some conspiracy in now. This is for educational purposes, y'all. Allegedly. But they probably just fixing it. They looking at everybody's comments and fixing it. AI is so dangerous that once it's perfected, we ain't gonna know what's real and what's not. Like, it's very, very creepy. And with that video, it make you think like, is that AI? But then it's like, no, but where did you disappear to? Or if you in there, where your parents? But I don't know. I thought it was creepy. I liked it. But that's all we have for today. I appreciate y'all rocking with me again. I just decided to do y'all another video. Hopefully I can, get these out more often. I'm super excited about my channel. It's been a long time coming. And I'm happy that a lot of people actually like my stories. There's more to come. There's more content to go over. I just hope that you guys like this today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go follow me on TikTok. I need to create an IG too.